Hey, I'm RT and welcome back to RTsWorld. So today I present you the second pachinko game on my channel, and this time it's the water-based one requested already last week. However, as explained last video, I built another one first, and so today I present you the second version of this. And a viewer, atop30, suggested this version by basically writing a comment: "Here's an idea for a gambling game. Make a simple pachinko game in which an item is dispensed into a whirlpool with holes in the center. The type of hole the item goes into determines the amount of gold you win or not win. You would probably have to make the floor of the whirlpool out of blue ice for the least amount of friction for the items." So with that said, I tried my best. However, I did not use any blue ice. I came up with another river-like version, which is shown basically in front of you. We have three droppers here at the top, which are orange, red and green, and these lines represent a prize we can win here at the bottom. For the both blue lines at the left and most right side, we do not get any prize, so there's no prize. And you may wonder what that is. That's just barrier blocks, and I placed them here so it's a little bit nicer for the intro. Of course, for the block by block tutorial afterwards, I will remove these and replace them with glass. So what do we have here? We have here a short explanation here on the side where it says if we get to the gold ingot, we get 1 gold ingot back, and if we get to this gold block, we get 2 gold ingots back. Of course, that's completely customizable. You can choose what the player wins as a casino owner, and you can also choose how many items they win by getting into a selected slot. So let's play it again. Let's try green. So it blocks. There's 1 random block on top, so green is now free, so we should get 2 gold items back. Nice. Let's try orange. Nice. Again orange. That's great. So we do not bet on any slots. We simply get whatever the item lands in. We simply select the droppers in the background with these 3 colors. So keep a close watch here at the background. Now we have the red one. And yeah, we can get... oh no, that was red. So 1 back. Let's try it one more time for you. Let's look at the orange one. Great. Oh, now we won nothing. So if we win nothing, of course, we don't get any prizes and the casino keeps our gold. So what is this video going to look like? First of all, I will explain everything to you, the redstone behind it, and it's not that huge actually. It's also buildable very fast, and despite being such a small casino, I guess it makes a lot of fun as a customer to play it, since you have to select 1 dropper, so you can actively choose how to play the game. And there's some randomness involved. As you can see here, those terracotta blocks in the floor, they can pop up randomly, and you can also completely customize those odds. And yeah, in the second part of the video, we will build this here together, block by block, so you can easily follow me and build it with me very slowly, block by block, so you can basically recreate it in your Minecraft world as well. This machine is also multiplayer and single player friendly, so if you're on a server, we have here no clocks, we have here no hoppers that are all the time activated or so, and we also do not have any version issues. So if you're playing, for example, Bedrock Edition, or if you're playing, for example, the Pocket Edition, it's completely fine. You can build it in those versions too, but I'm here on Java. Let's start with the explanatory part. So you can select one of those droppers in the ceiling by simply putting in 1 gold ingot in the corresponding hoppers here. And by doing so, the item will simply drop out of this dropper on the ceiling. But if you, for example, select the red one, it can either drop on the orange or the green line as well. There's just a slightly higher probability that it drops directly under the red line, but green and orange is also a possibility. Same goes if you select the green one, for example, it can drop on the no price lane, and you are dependent on that block here on this in the floor popping up and pushing the item back onto the green line. So then you're dependent on a probability. Same goes, of course, for the orange line. You can get to the orange one with a very high probability by simply selecting this dropper, but there's also the possibility of getting on the red or no price lane. With that said, I will try it once more. Just select orange this time. Let's see where it goes. Yeah, now it's the no price lane and we get nothing. So once more orange. Let's see where it goes this time. Directly into the orange lane. And now, ooh, there's a chance that it goes into red, since this terracotta block popped up and pushed item 1 lane to the right. So that's unfortunate, but that's how the casino works. It's a little bit random. And that's also good for you as a casino owner, of course, but it's also a little bit more challenging as a customer to select the right one, to be a little bit hyped where the item now goes or not goes, of course, and if it wins you some gold in the end. Of course, we start with simple item filters here in the background. We have those gold ingots here, since that's our currency, and we have those secretly named shards in there. You should not disclaim this name to anyone except you, since then people could also play with those shards. Yeah, you don't want that. So keep this name secret. If we add in a 19th item in here, we can see that this repeater was on very shortly because the signal strength increased by 1 and powered this redstone dust, powering this repeater, powering this torch. And we now follow the middle lane. The middle one goes all over here, across there, and ends up here in this dispenser, and that's the middle one with the red line. So same goes for the orange and the green line, as we have here the corresponding torches on the left or the right. So all these signals are now funneled together with this redstone line, ending up in this repeater, sending the signal upwards and already closing those hoppers, so you cannot put any more items in per round. And there's also a second circuit that's activated, which is this pulse extender here with 2 comparators, also sending the signal upwards. Here's a torch beneath, and powering this pistons even longer, so they stay close a little bit longer. Now the real magic happens. So we have here this pulse shortener after this pulse extender. So we have just a 2-tick pulse traveling all across here and ending up here in our center of this casino. So we have here dropper randomizers that are filled with completely different items, and I will go into the details of them. We have here 75%, for example, for the middle one, which is this red terracotta block in the middle. So this one pops up 75% of the time, and that's represented by 3 non-stackable stone swords, for example, and 1 stackable item, the smooth quartz block. So we have a 3 out of 4 probability of reaching a signal strength of 2, since stone swords have a signal strength of 2, and this quartz block a signal strength of 1 if detected by a comparator in another dropper. And that's why we have this 75% chance of hitting here with this comparator signal strength 2, therefore powering this repeater, powering the piston in the middle. Same goes for all the other percentages. We have 20% here, that is 1 in 5, 20%, and 70%, which is 1 in 6. And if we reach those signal strength, we either pop up the green or the blue line, and same goes for the other side, just mirrored, 20% again, 70% on the most outer lane, and we have here again the blue and the orange one. After that, randomizing part is done. We also have here our profit chest in the middle, where all the profits are funneled together. First of all, the profits from here, which is of course our input, where we select the droppers. And there's also the not really profits that are funneled here together, since we have to dispense 1 item over here from these droppers, and we have to get them back somehow, and that's where this dropper line here kicks in. It gets funneled here into those chests and back into a profit chest. So at some point as a casino owner, you have to put this gold back up here into these droppers, or you build an item elevator that does it automatically for you. But I chose not to do it since it's much more multiplayer friendly if there are no clocks involved. But you can do it if you want to. Just bring the items back up there, and it's a closed loop system where everything is restocked automatically. So with those hoppers, depending in which line the gold ingot ends up in, we have here 5 lamps on the top and 5 hoppers at the bottom. And those 5 hoppers are equipped with comparators, detecting what comes through or in which lane the item comes through. And for the most outer parts, we do not have any winning droppers attached to them. We simply have this sound, which is our losing sound. Sounds like this. And if we have the most inner parts, we already have observers detecting that. The observers then power those quartz blocks above and power the corresponding lamps. So that's where we can get the optical signal or the optical response here in these lamps on the floor. And we have also the prices here. So we have power here on this quartz block that can be picked up by this repeater, powering this gold dropper on the top. And we have 1 tick, so that's if the observer detects the signal powering this comparator and also the signal depowering this comparator, since both of them are a block change. And by doing so, we have a repeater set to 1 tick that's powering twice this block here. If we set it to 4 ticks, the signal is too fast from the observers, and we have only 1 signal reaching this block here in the middle. That's why we get only 1 gold ingot if we get into the red lane. So with that explained, I guess everything is done. We'll play it one more time. Let's pick red this time. Oh, now we can end up in green. That's... oh no, it was red again. Yeah, that's some randomness involved. If the red one pops up and you picked green and orange, you usually end up in the red lane, and that's also why this one is the most, the highest probability, basically, with 75% of the time. So if you simply put always your guess on green or orange, 75% of the time you will be disappointed with the outcome you get. So that's why that's on 75%, by the way. And one thing I forgot to mention is, of course, you can completely customize those odds, and you can also completely customize how many items you get in here. You just need a different circuit, for example, 3, 4, or 5 items. 1 and 2 is explained here, but you can also go higher. For example, you could really win a gold block on these lanes if you, for example, use diamonds or stuff like that. So it's completely up to you how to design this Gold Rush casino. Welcome to the block by block tutorial. So now we want to build this machine here, explained before, block by block together. So we will start with this platform, which is 13 by 5 blocks. 13 in this direction, 5 obviously in this direction. And we can already start by going 1 in and putting up these light blue concrete blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, like this. That's our starting point. Then we want to grab some smooth quartz stairs and place them right here. And here we can always say like left, middle, and right. And of course you can make it a little bit fancier by simply putting left dropper, right dropper, middle dropper, and so on, and those nice dashes across. But for this tutorial I will simply do only the necessary stuff. The design is completely up to you, of course. Next up we want to start with the hoppers. We punch out these 3 blocks here and place 3 barrels like so. And then we place hoppers facing into those barrels, and also hoppers facing in blocks behind, like so. So they should not face into each other, that's very important. Next up we can already put our spruce trapdoors here to cover the hoppers and make it a little bit fancier. And then we can get some concrete, the blue one. Go 1 block higher here, which is then 5 blocks. Go 5 blocks across, like so. And then again 5 blocks like that. Then we can already grab our smooth quartz and build a frame around this whole casino, like so. And here I just chose to go 1 block outwards to make it a little bit nicer with this design feature in the right corner there. So next up we want to place in our lamps, which should end up right here. And we can already place some glass if we want, but we will skip this part for a second. We will place our droppers with our gold inside. So I will simply put 1 stack in there for the sake of this tutorial. That's more than enough. And then we can already start with our droppers here in the background. Place 2 blocks of wool, then 2 blocks of wool down, 2 blocks of wool across. Repeaters in there, another row of wool, redstone dust, redstone comparators, and redstone torches at this level here. So then we can already place some hoppers facing downwards and a row of hoppers. Next we want to build our pistons up here, so grab some sticky pistons and place them that they're facing towards the hoppers here in the front. And then we simply grab our 3 colors, which is orange, red, and green, and they will cover everything up so nobody can insert multiple items per round. So next up I want to grab also some of this blue concrete here, and we'll leave 1 space between the lamp and this concrete and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then we have the orange line, then we have the red line, then we have the green line, and then we have the blue line again, like so. After that we go 1 block up and build 4 blocks, again for each of those colors. And then we can already place in here the next row, like so. And then go 1 forward again like that. We can already cover that up. That's where our water will go. And here we can have some more of this blue concrete. So we can encase everything like this. Now we're going to add in our lamps that indicate which dropper we selected. And here at the ceiling we can already place in this kind of shape where our dispensers, sorry, it's not a dropper that goes into the ceiling, our dispensers go in. Should look like that. And then we can also cover everything up nicely, like that. The other side as well. So try to make it as clean as possible. And on the other build I used this pattern here with the light blue one, but for the sake of this tutorial I also choose to just build it with the blue concrete only, since it's a little bit faster. After the walls, now it's time for the ceiling, so we can also grab here some red concrete. We can also replace this block here. Then we grab the orange one, that's not orange. And last but not least, the green one. Also make sure to replace this block, then blue for the rest of the ceiling. Like so. Then we can already add in the lighting, since it's very dark in here already. For the lighting we start here, then every 2 blocks we will place those sea lanterns, like that. And we can cover them with iron trapdoors to make it look a little bit fancier, like this. And then we can already place in our glass pane, which is directly on this block here. And before we close it completely up, we need some water. We'll place it right here beneath every block. And then we can close the glass pane. The water should stop now. And we can then move on to the sticky pistons in the floor. And our pistons will go 1, 2 from this orange one here, there, here, there, and here. That's where our pistons will go. Next up we will have to place concrete here, here, and place some temporary blocks. I just use some redstone lamps at every hole and place a piston just against those temporary blocks like this. Next up we want to add in a terracotta, which is blue, orange, red and green. And now we can already flood this area here with some water. Make sure there's everywhere water, and it should reach right to this edge here. Some more blue concrete over here. 2 blocks, here a block, there a block. Then we have all the blocks here. And now we need some temporary blocks again. And for temporary blocks I just use sea lanterns now. 2 rows of sea lanterns. 2 rows of hoppers facing into those lanterns. We can then remove the lanterns again. And from here on we will need some more composters. And we want to funnel everything into this chest here. And this chest will unify all those hoppers into this single chest where all our profits will go. And that's now the point where we connect this line up to that line. Place composters on top to reduce lag. And yeah, now our profit chest is completely done. All our profits will end up right here. So next up we want to place in our observers. And for the observers we simply start here, 1 block across the last hopper line. Then we have here 5 of those redstone comparators. Hold shift and place observers facing those comparators, and then a quartz block line on top, like so. Then we can already add our node blocks. We need here some redstone, there's some redstone. Repeater set to 4 ticks, repeater set to 4 ticks. Node block here. Of course you're completely free to choose whatever it sounds like. Next up we want to place in some iron blocks here. Node blocks right next to them. And then we can already connect these price droppers. So make sure to get repeaters here. Here, set the middle one to 4 ticks, and here. The outer ones are on 1 tick, the middle one on 4 ticks, and then place wool directly beneath the droppers. And then we can add the note blocks here as well. And some iron beneath it. Nice, so that's our pricing system done. If we were to drop a gold ingot, for example, in the green line, now we have twice blinking this lamp and 2 gold ingots, which is great. So next up we can grab ourselves some glass, since you have to place glass in here to prevent your customers from just putting in gold in the block, in the slot where you get 2 gold. So place the glass there to prevent that from happening. And now we can already start with the wiring in the background. We need some green wool. Start right here. We need some repeaters, all of them set to 3 ticks. Blocks, and I messed up with this repeater. Redstone torches, redstone torches, redstone torches, all the way up to this level here where we are on flat with the ceiling. Now we can build the ceiling by placing 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks. Then repeaters set to 4 ticks here. 3 blocks like that. And then we have diagonally placed redstone here, diagonally placed redstone there. And we can already start to get repeaters in there, like so. And now we have to simply count. We have now here a repeater that's missing, there a repeater that's missing, and there a repeater that's missing. Fill everything with redstone, so nothing intersects or connects with each other that should not connect. And we now count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 repeaters before we have this repeater on 4 ticks. Then we have here 1, 2, 3, 4 repeaters, so we have to replace one of those redstones with a repeater. And the last one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 before this repeater. Perfect. And of course I missed one spot of redstone right here. Make sure to put it in as well. Next up we want to add in our lamp system here in the back, so we have to go repeater in the middle, like, oh no, that was a redstone torch, like so, like so. Repeaters over there, 2 pieces of redstone right here, and 2 wool blocks like that. So why is that connecting actually? Yeah, it should not. Perfect, that's the ceiling part done. Now we can already switch to yellow wool. And for the yellow wool, we have to combine these 3 here with a repeater into this block. Here another block, like that. Comparator, comparator, redstone, redstone, redstone torches. 2 more redstone torches. 2 blocks on top of those redstone torches. Here we have to have a repeater to prevent it from connecting to the screen block. And then simply placing redstone dust like so. Then we have to grab our orange wool, and the orange wool already, after we remove those temporary blocks, goes beneath those pistons. And then we can extend it like so, that we have here 1 repeater set to 3 ticks, 1 repeater set to 2 ticks, 3 repeaters all set to 1 tick, 3 repeaters all set to 1 tick, redstone dust, 2 repeaters, whereas one of them is set to 2 ticks, so we have a total of 3 ticks delay for each of those pistons. Then we have to place in redstone dust row, another redstone dust row, a comparator row, a row of magenta wool like that. Then we can switch back to orange wool like this. Here another row like so. Should look like that now. And then we have here our dispensers. Sorry, our droppers. Next up we want to add our droppers, which are those 5 facing in this direction, another 5 facing directly into the other droppers. And we now want to get to 75% for the middle one, which should look like this. That's 75%. Then we have 20% on these ones, which should look like this. 20% on that one. %17% on the most outer ones. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items and 1 stone sword in there. Here again, 1 stone sword and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items. Perfect. So now it's 75% in the middle, 20% on slot 2 and 4, and on slot 1 and 5 it's 17%. So then we have to grab ourselves some redstone, go like that and like this. Then grab some more orange, wool 1 block beneath here, repeater set to 2 ticks and 1 sticky piston in the middle. A block on top, and now we can already connect it like this and connect that like that, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks into that direction as well. Now we can connect this redstone, put here a bunch of repeaters, all set to 4 ticks, like so, and put redstone in the missing spaces. Before we can now start the casino for the first time, we have to program our item sorters here. So just grab the upper hopper here, place in your secretly named items, 4 of them, and then half a stack of gold, and it should automatically go down to 18 in the first slot. Like so, it should stop at 18, repeat it for the other 2 hoppers as well, and all our profits or excess gold should end up in this chest here. So if we now play this casino, we are not ready to do it since there's no gold in the upper droppers. The gold should end up here in this chest, so that's the 41th gold. Perfect. Then we have to stock these droppers here on the top. Oh, sorry, that's dispensers, not droppers. Like so. Go back to our green wool, place the blocks back in, and now our casino is completely functional. Finally, after those droppers on the top on the ceiling are now filled, we can test out the casino. Let's try red. It should close up. Now 2 random blocks popped up and it should stay on red now. Oh no, it's green. Great. That's good for the customer, good for us. Orange. Let's try orange. Lamp works there. Yeah, now we get nothing, unfortunately. Let's try green for the last slot. Let's see if the lamp works. Great. Where does it go? Oh, and it's again a losing item. So, but perfect, that's working. And just a very small pro tip in the end. If you replace those blocks here with sea lanterns, so that's from the inside, that's basically those 2 blocks here in the corners, you won't get any glowfish spawn there, since yeah, a lot of glowfish tend to spawn in there, or glow squids, I don't know how they're called, but that should prevent that from happening. So let's try it once more. Great. Orange again. No, it was... oh shit. Yeah, of course I did not win this time. And once again, thanks to ATop30 for suggesting this casino idea. I hope I built it to your satisfaction, that you like it and that you can build it now in your single player or server world. Of course you can decorate it a little bit more like I did here in the background with those gold items in the background, those no price signs and the fancier input. But yeah, for this tutorial I simply put it down like that. Feel free to decorate it, feel free to modify it. And if you have any questions regarding this redstone system in the background, or if you made any mistake during the block by block tutorial and your machine is not working somehow, make sure to download this world. There's a download link in the video description, so you can play around with this world, play around with the machines, and yeah, have a great day with that. And with that said, thanks for watching. Keep suggesting video ideas. I have now an ever-growing list of video ideas I have to cover, but stay tuned. I will try to get through each of those suggestions one by one. And yeah, I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching and bye bye.